Right, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my episode 4 review of Raised by Wolves Season 2. This one was titled Control. Absolutely great episode. Really good. Non-spoilers wise, because I'll give you a spoiler warning and then we'll touch on it. Yeah, I really like how this one's developing. I think, and I've said it before in every single review that I've done, but it needs to be said continuously, in fact, is that, Season 1 was definitely finding its footing in the weird. And it did go a bit balls to the wall, and it did sort of ask a lot of questions of the audience in terms of its belief and things like that. And it didn't leave a lot actually answered. It didn't reveal much. You can definitely see the framework being laid for the answers now. And that's fantastic. A really great sci-fi show in modern day is hard to come by because they seldom answer the big questions that they ask. It's all well and good for a show to ask these massive, grandiose questions, but so very few actually come up with answers. And I really do feel like this is doing that now. That's the hint that I'm getting anyway. So, great episode. The humanity of mother and father are being tested to the absolute limit. And it really is. But again, mother comes through in this episode on top as, I guess a true representation. And same as father, right? Like they are two sides to humanity's coin. That's the way I look at them. They are two sides to humanity's coin. And I think they both do such a fantastic job. Amanda Collin as mother is just astoundingly good. Travis Fimmel did a great job in this episode. More so than he's done in previous ones. I think he really pushed it. And he did a great job. Abubakar Salim, who plays father, nails it. He knocks out the park. He's one of my new favourite actors. He really is. So there you have it for now. Let's talk spoilers now, alright? Because we need to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Oh boy howdy, do we need to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. So let's get into it. Right. Straight away, we have seen the android that father has created. Or recreated, or brought back to life. We've seen it already. It's actually in the poster, believe it or not. It was hiding in plain sight all along. And you'll see it on the screen now, like I would have zoomed in and stuff like that. So good. That is absolutely the android. But it's interesting, isn't it, that this android almost has necromancer-like powers. Appears to fly, almost appear like a golden sunshine shimmer. They're not necromancer powers, but they're similar. I mean, the fact that this android can fly, okay, that's new. That's brand new, which we see. This is the android that obviously interacts with father right at the very end, this blinding light. And it's also the blinding light that saved Campion and then made Campion think that he had seen Soul. Now, it'll be interesting to see whether this is the android or the source of a signal, or whether this android knows anything from the past. It's obviously been long gone for some time, so I'm really intrigued to see where they go with this. Genuinely really intrigued. The other side of it was, of course, mother getting her powers back. She got her eyes back out of Caleb's, Travis Fimmel's guts, which was an interesting turn of events. We knew that Paul, with Mouse, we knew that there was something going on with the Trust, whether he had put a tracking device on Mouse or we don't know, but obviously we do know now what the Trust had done, had laced Mouse with some sort of time specific disease, and when Mouse comes out, releases the disease, but fortunately and unfortunately, the disease only affected 2 people. It affected Paul. Paul became like this weird sort of, and it was a serpentine thing. His eyes went serpentine just before they closed up with these weird scales all over him. Basically just become a massive cocoon, this disease. And one other individual that was just cannon fodder. It didn't affect Travis Fimmell's character because he had Mother's eyes in him. But subsequently from there, obviously what happened was Campion ran off to go and get Mother. Told Mother. Mother came down and was like, look, we can help Paul. You know, give him to me. We can help him. We can take him to the trust and we can fix it. And quite rightfully so, Caleb was like, no, like, get out of it. No, you're not doing that. You know, I will believe that I can fix this with Soul's powers, etc. And then that's when Mother realised that the power Caleb had is not his. It was her eyes, to which she pulled out of his guts and put back in her eyes. And I tell you what a great sight it was to have her finally back in full necromancer form. And she went hard on the trust. She destroyed the trust. And just the power set again, like it's fun to see the strength and just OP sort of power set that the necromancers have. Can you imagine creating that? It's just absolutely insane. She literally marches right up to the forces of the trust, and the trust, you know, the atheists call through to the trust, and the trust is like, yeah, open fire. So they do, and then they're like, shit, she's got her eyes back, she's armed. Because they're just shooting her and literally nothing is happening. Instant regeneration. To which she goes mental and starts doing her screams and blowing people up. And basically just floats right over to the massive ship and goes, look, I don't want to break the ship, but I will. Open the door. To which the trust does. Opens the door. Lets her in. And they have a conversation. And the conversation's quite telling, I think. You know, it's interesting. And again, to me, it's an exploration of humanity. She says, you know, reveal the antidote, reveal the you know, the how to heal him. And he goes, there is none. I don't know. You know, it was calculated. It made sense to destroy them and to risk the lives rather than destroy and risk the lives of all the atheists. And she was like, how are we from the same human mind? How? And I just found that to be fascinating. But anyway, obviously, Mother forced them to shut down. Basically killed the trust, sent the atheists into haywire mode. They're like, oh my god, we've got no one to control us now, what's going on? And it is interesting, isn't it, how the atheists, despite being atheists, put their true faith in, you know, a computer. And I guess that goes to some perspective of how humans like to have, you know, they like their control to be removed from them, the decision making, the sort of repercussions of their actions, the consequences of their decisions. If they give it over to someone else, then they don't have to face the full brunt of the consequences. And that's kind of what I got from that, because they went mental after that, absolutely haywire, screaming, running, shouting all over the place. And Mother's there like, look, let me lead you. I just want to be a mother, basically. And when the time is right, I'll pass the baton over, I promise. And obviously she's talking about passing it over to Campion, which, you know, they've set that up quite a lot now. Which doesn't bode particularly well, because they're making Campion into something which potentially he's not actually meant to be. And that goes to show Mother's misplaced confidence in her own offspring. There was not much with the serpent this episode. We did see what creatures had pulled pulled the other atheists into the ocean the other episode last week, and that was some sort of humanoid swamp monster, which is kind of cool. You can actually see it in the trailer. There's one on the side. This obviously from, you know, a future episode, so we know they'll interact with them again. And I do find the humanoids on the planet to be quite interesting. We had the humanoids on the opposite side, not the tropical zone, but what do you ever call it? The desolate zone, the desert zone, whatever. And then you've got humanoids on the tropical zone side. So it is interesting. But then, of course, you know, Father and this new android, that's going to be the real... Yeah, that's going to be really interesting to see where that goes. Because you can see her actually in the trailer a few times. It's a woman. You can see her in the trailer a good few times now. And you can see her interacting with Mother and the sort of confusion and concern on Mother's face. So it'll be fascinating to see where that actually goes. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Love to have you here for more videos. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Take care.